Hey, Clint here, delivering fresh Photoshop content to you on a weekly basis. Today, we're going to be diving into Photoshop workflows, where we take a look at how to speed up our editing processes so we can make more time for creativity. Let's dive in. First, if you're not familiar with Photoshop at all, let's start from the beginning. So first start by finding any image that you want to open up in Photoshop. To open up an image, simply right-click and select Open With. And you're going to navigate to where you might find Adobe Photoshop in this list of possibilities. Or as a second option, you're going to click and drag it onto the Photoshop icon in your dock. Okay, once it has loaded up, I want you to be aware of what is happening around your image. Take a look at what is called the workspace. You have your tools over here on the left-hand side. You've got your toolbar up here on the top, and you have a different set of panels open here on the right-hand side. All of this makes up what is called the workspace. Now you can actually customize this beyond what it initially looks like. To do so, simply go up here to your window menu, and you're going to see this option right here to change your workspace. Now it gives you a default list here of about 6 different options, ranging in how you might use Photoshop. You can play around with these and see what happens. You can see here that Essentials workspace is the default. But over time, I've taken the time to pick different panels that I like open, and then I have saved it as a custom workspace here. Thus, you can see my name here at the top. So if I click that, this is a custom workspace that I have worked on and tweaked to make it my own. So I definitely encourage you to do the same. To get different panels open over here on the right-hand side, simply go up to the window menu here and choose the ones accordingly. Now, there are a lot of options here, not gonna lie. It'll take some time to figure out what panels you will need, what you are comfortable with, and what you prefer to have open. But nonetheless, once you lock that in, I definitely recommend saving it as a new workspace so you have a reference to it at any given moment. What's nice about creating a custom workspace is that you have the option to move the panels around and create it how you would like it to be. So as you're coming in here and adding your different panels, let's say I want a histogram and I want to see my color and I want to see my brushes. You can see that with each option here, it brings up a separate panel. You can actually move these around and scale them around to a different size that you'd like. So let's see, I got my brushes here. I don't need that one. I like all of my panels off to one side so I can see more of my image and give me a better workspace to work with. So I'm going to truncate these over here off to my right hand side, and you can see how easy it is. You grab the top of your toolbar, move it off to the side here, make these all the same width. Maybe bring this one over here. All right, and as you can see right there, when I was moving a panel around, you can magnetize it up to some other ones. See that blue bar right there? Magnetize it to the other list, and then it'll move it around as a single column with all the other panels. All right, great. This workspace looks good to me. So then I would go in, Workspace, save it as a new workspace. All right, another simple process that we can utilize to speed up our workflow is the use of hotkeys. If you've never heard that term before, all it is a simple keyboard command that allows us to access a tool or a feature faster than trying to find it here in the panel or up here in the menu. For example, quick test on yourself. What is the hotkey for quickly saving something? Or what about copying and pasting? You see, these are simple commands that we do day in and day out, no matter what program we're in. But if you memorize the hotkey, you don't have to worry about finding it in the menu all the time. What about the hotkey to common tools, such as the Move tool or the Lasso tool? We use these on the daily. And if you commit them to memory, you spend less time searching for those tools and more time on your creative process. If you're unsure where the hotkey commands are or where the references are, you can simply hover over any tool or menu command to quickly access it. For example, if I look over here to my simple Move tool, you can see right there the hotkey command is V. Or if I scroll down to my simple lasso tools, you can see that the hotkey is L. Now the tools over here are pretty much accessible by one key, but there are more advanced ones such as checking your image size that require the use of keys such as Command, Control, or Shift. Now, they differ from being on a Mac or versus a PC. If you ever hear me call out Command, I work on a Mac. So for a PC, that would be Control instead. So for saving, instead of Command S, it would be Control S. You can also make your own keyboard shortcuts. Simply go up to the Edit menu and click on Keyboard Shortcuts down here at the bottom. You can change different shortcuts for the application menus and or panels and tools and task spaces. Then your list of options change down here. Now, disclaimer, I don't recommend that you do so until you get a little more familiar with Photoshop. You might accidentally overwrite a well-used tool, especially when Adobe cross-references their hotkeys on all their different platforms and all their different software. Even simple things like saving or copy and pasting are pretty universally well-known keyboard shortcuts amongst all programs. So get more familiar with Photoshop first before making your own custom keyboard shortcuts. Although if you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to search out all the different hotkeys, I've made something special for you. Photoshop Keyboard Shortcuts Cheat Sheet Guide. Everything in here you need to see the different tools and where they lay out on the keyboard. It's super handy to have by your computer as you're editing. And as a bonus, I've added a list of some of my favorites that I use on the daily, as well as some lesser known ones that I think come in handy editing any project. If you're interested in the keyboard shortcut guide, it's free and there's a link to that in the description. All right, here's to editing more proficiently. Hey, before you go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that bell icon. That way you get notified every Friday when I release my new content. Until next time, I'm Clint, and yes, I believe in you and that you can become a Photoshop expert.